The guy is an absolute freak show. He's like the Frankenstein monster of the division. He's the new MARKUS RUHL. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. This coming weekend, the Empro Classic in Alicante, Spain. One of the bigger shows over there in Europe. This is for an Olympia qualification, and the lineup is pretty damn good. Michael Krizo has to be the favorite going into this event. This is a very big show, first of all, that's held every year in Alicante. They have almost every division here. So you're going to see men's physique, classic, you're going to see figure and bikini, wellness. It's a big, big show. And you get a really good turnout of bodybuilders. Krizo has won this show before. He's obviously coming back to get his Olympia qualification for 2024 here. The guy is an absolute freak show. He's like the Frankenstein monster of the division. He's the new MARKUS RUHL. The guy has got the freakiest arms probably in the IFBB. He's got tremendous legs. He's made a lot of improvements in his back over the last year. He really has no weaknesses, other than we'd like to see him even bigger. Sometimes he comes in a little on the flat side because he's so grainy hard, which is not necessarily a good look for him because he's got a big frame. Assuming that Krizo fills out that frame and doesn't come in too flat, I don't think anyone in this lineup can beat him. We can talk about a couple of other guys that will be in that top 5 for sure, but Michael Krizo has proven, repetitively that he is the real deal. He's very tough to beat in head-to-head competition. He just has the freak factor. He's very broad. He's got tremendous structure. He doesn't really have any weaknesses. He's balanced on top and bottom, meaning his legs match his upper body. He's got a really pretty good X frame. He's got a small waist. Sometimes his tan can be a little on the light side because he's probably very, very pale before he gets spray tan. Hopefully he'll bring in a really good coloring on that stage, and that won't hold him back at all. His presentation has really improved over the last couple of years tremendously. You can tell this guy works hard. He loves the sport of bodybuilding. He wants to be on that Olympia stage. He wants to try to crack the top 6 this year. He certainly has the tool set to do that. First, he's got to qualify here by winning this show. Once again, I don't think anyone beats Krizo in this lineup except Krizo. So if Krizo comes in off, he might not win. But if he brings his best, I don't think anyone here has the firepower to beat him. Now, Behrouz Tabani from Iran is probably one of the most hyped guys in this entire lineup, and for good reason. He always brings great conditioning. He always brings freaky muscle mass. He's really one of the most celebrated IFBB pros now who can't make it to the Olympia. This guy cannot get a visa out of Iran. I don't know how Hadi Chopin gets it, but obviously Behrouz has not been as lucky. This guy's qualified for the Olympia before. He hasn't been able to come. It would be a real shame if he qualifies this year in Alicante and then he can't get to the Olympia come the fall. I hope he's got some top lawyers and immigration people working for him, because I would love to see this guy at the Olympia and being able to test, all these years of hard work, all the muscle. This guy has got a lot of muscle on that body. He always brings great conditioning. He's got a small waist. He's got the bells and whistles. He's got the wow factor. He could knock Krizo off if Krizo's a little off. I think if Krizo comes in at his best, I think Mike is just too big, too broad, structurally too good, and I just never see Krizo out of shape. So I don't see Tabani out conditioning him. I don't see him out shaping him, but he could bring more freak factor to the stage. And it could be a good battle between those two guys. But the wild card in this lineup, and a lot of people aren't talking about it because I think he's been removed for a couple of years from competition now, has got to be William Bonac, who's making a comeback here. This guy has been second at the Olympia before. You know, we can't forget that. He's got, talk about freak factor and cartoonish muscle. He's got it in spades. He's got a small waist. He's got crazy legs. His glutes and hamstrings are insane when they're in shape. He's got a great back. He's got good arms. He doesn't really have any weaknesses other than the fact that he's got a little bit of a short torso. But it doesn't look bad on him on stage because he's proportioned upwards and downwards, meaning that his legs and his upper body balance each other off. This guy, okay, could win this show if he brings the conditioning and the fullness that we've seen from him in the past. The question is, does he have the mass he had in the past? I don't think he does. I don't think he's as big as he was in the past from what I'm seeing online, but I don't think it matters. I think with Bonac what matters is, because his proportion is so wacky, he needs to bring conditioning but not be too flat. Likewise, if he comes in too full and it starts making his waist look a little blocky, that's not good for him either. So he has to nail the perfect balance between conditioning and fullness on that stage. From the pictures I'm seeing on Instagram already, it looks like he's in I mean, the guy's in shape. So I don't suspect we're going to have any conditioning issues with this guy. But he can beat Krizo. He can. He's got more wow than he got. It's the same reason why Phil Heath beat bigger guys on stage. More wow factor, more cartoonish muscle. Bonac's got it. Whether we're going to see it on stage on this weekend or not remains to be seen, because we don't know. We haven't seen Bonac in so long. But the time off might have done his body good. He might be refreshed. He might come in with a better look now. He had plenty of time to prepare for this. He's been very quiet. No one's really heard a lot from Bonac, which is usually when he's the most dangerous. So I'm calling top 3 here from Bonac, and I'm saying he can go all the way and win this thing if he brings his best. That's going to be what we're going to have to wait to see. Another guy making a comeback, Sas Harati. Don't count him out. Probably maybe the best legs in the lineup. When he brings them conditioned, they're deadly. The knock against him has always been his upper body's a little undersized compared to the legs. If he can bring up a good balance of up and bottom with the conditioning that he's known for, this comeback could be a good one for him. I think we see Sas finishing that top 5 for sure. Can he win here? He's going to have a lot of trouble with the likes of Bonac, Tabani, and Krizo. But I think we're going to see a top 4 finish from him. So there are a lot of other guys in the lineup. You know, I see that Sammy Trudy's making a comeback here as well. We haven't seen him in a number of years. I'll probably see him when I go out to Dubai at the end of July. I hope he does well in this lineup, and there's a bunch of other guys who this might be their pro debut for. So we might see some dark horses in this lineup that I didn't even pick out. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going with either Bonac or Krizo, with Tabani a close wild card second there. You never know. It's going to be an exciting show in Alicante, Spain. I love the way they put on this show every single year. All the competitors that I've ever interviewed from there tell me that it was a great show, VIP treatment. It's high end, and the competitors like to be there, and they give away good prize money. So congratulations ahead of time to all the champions who will qualify for the Olympia. We won't know who's going to win until the show's over, but hopefully on Heavy Muscle Radio, Sunday night, we'll be wrapping up the whole event. For now, I'm Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle News Update.